Welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we talk about the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. All right, this is part 2 of the Superman Wonder Woman set review, so go listen to part 1 because there's important stuff in part 1. Better for you to listen to part 1 first, then come back here. If you came from part 1 to here, welcome back. Thank you for coming back to the show. All right, let's get this popping, as the DJs like to put it. Okay, so we're starting off with the rares. There will be intermission in this episode since it's going to be way longer. It's probably going to be like an hour and a half, so just prep yourself for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Rares. Wonder Woman. Number 33, must buy, must play. Ignore the keywords. Just ignore the keywords. First thing off the bat, she has mystics. And that's cool. She has the odds are against me at the end of your turn. If Wonder Woman was given a non-free action this turn, and an opposing force has more characters on the map than your force, place an outnumber token on this card. Give Wonder Woman a free action and remove 2 outnumber tokens from this card and make a close combat attack. Now, you are limited to a close combat attack with her odds are against me, which she doesn't have range, so yeah. All right, now, this is a big deal. This is a big deal because at 200 points, this allows her to keep pace with a lot of teams. Okay. Next, Divine Aura. Wonder Woman can't be targeted by opposing characters' outwit or probability control unless the targeting character is more points or has the deity keyword. Okay. This definitely makes sure that her being 200 points, she's not going to be whittled away by your opponent's outwit or being probbed when she lands that crit hit or rolls a 6 for blades. Okay, so that's another big thing, okay? All right, now, there are other effects that can jack with her, but just not prob. All right, next we have Gift of Hermes. Gift of Hermes is literally the Gift of Hermes. This is what you need, and this is what you're building around. Wonder Woman can use Charge, Flurry, and Sidestep. Okay, Charge, Flurry, and Sidestep. So she can charge in, okay, Flurry on her opponent, and then Sidestep out. Or she can Sidestep and then charge, giving her a 7 square coverage for her charge. With Flight, there's very little that limits her. With a TK, you're looking at a 15 squares of coverage. That's really good. That's really good. So I really like this. I really like this. Okay. The other thing that she gets at the end, which is a tip of the hat to the old Ares, which is the new Goddess of War. At the end of your opponent's turn, deal 1 penetrating damage to each character on that player's force within 2 squares of Wonder Woman that didn't make an attack this turn. Now, this is a big deal because this is not line of fire. This is no line of sight or anything like that. It's a flat 2 squares. So you can just be like, hey, guy, you who hid in the corner, I'm on this dial now. I'm down there near you. Oh, you didn't make an attack? You're going to take a click. You're taking 1 penetrating click of damage. If the person has invincible, can you shrug that off or whatever? Yes. But when you start thinking about it, you're combining, if someone hits Diana, they're taking mystics. If someone tries to, get full on body contact with Diana, chances are she's going to impervious it off or use Sidestep Flurry. Okay. And yeah, Sidestep Flurry or Charge. She has Blaze Claw's Fang. She has support. She has Close Combat Expert with 4 printed damage, so she can up her attack to a 13 or lay in for 6 damage. If this was a super rare, I would be happy. Okay, I would be happy. This is This is a power rare. Do I see people playing this in the rock? Maybe if they get super froggy, but she has some things that most rock players don't like. The fact that she is high points, she doesn't have any sort of range. Her move and attack is limited to charge. She doesn't have any way of dealing directly with Nick Fury outside of Indigo Battery. Fully understand that. But when you start to think about her shortfalls, the fact that any entity that you can pick will give her powers that are awesome. Any of the new entities that you can pick will give her powers that are awesome. Not only that, you're looking at a situation with her that pretty much all the resources work well with her. You can build Pandora's box with her really well. I could definitely see Sloth being a great addition. Same with Wrath being a great addition. Maybe Sloth here and there. I can see how Envy can be really good. I can see, Rock of Eternity being used well on her. You can build any deck you want if you have the right ID cards, okay? So Round Table works well with her. Quinjet is the perfect backup for her. Pay 70 points and just be like, well, 70 points, some cards, put in like a cheapo guy to pilot it. Bam, we're good to go. Like a 20 point something or other. I don't know. Something cheap. Put in a newsboy, 15 points. That puts you at 85, three ID cards. After that, and you have something to carry Wonder Woman around. Yeah, and you're gonna get a ghost army of 3 figures. Yeah, this here is the stuff. And even more so, like, all right, let's look at the fact it says on the map. So if I have 4 characters and I'm running like 2 Avengers Sky Cycles and Wonder Woman, let's say 5 characters, 2 Avengers Sky Cycles, Wonder Woman, and 2 characters to pilot those Sky Cycles. The moment they get on those Sky Cycles and my opponent has 5 characters on the map, I can just be like, yep, stacking up. Odds are against me tokens. And yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Can't do much. I'm doing it. And then once it's all done, it's just like boom, sidestep, charge, flurry, boop boop, you're dead. You're next. Take 2 tokens off, boop boop, you're dead. So good right now. So good. So good. So good. I mean, if I could date this Wonder Woman, I would date that Wonder Woman. That's how good it would be. I'd be like, whatever you say, baby, whatever you say. And I'm not that type of dude. So that's that awesome. So anyway, let's move on. Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate is great for a couple of reasons. First off, Mystics TA is always great. Wonder of the World, that keyword, I'm seeing that going to be abused real easily. Definitely when you're getting access to that keyword with that ATA to the mystical pool, tons of cool stuff that you can do. Add in Dr. Fate's whole Tempt Fate. Dr. Fate can use probability control, give Dr. Fate a power action, and modify the attack values of all other friendly characters by +1. No theme keyword required. It's just, hey, I'm doing my due diligence, sitting in the back. Everybody has +1 attack this turn, including the ants. The ants all have +1 attack this turn, including the Pogs from Dr. Demonicus. They have +1 attack this turn. Yes. Some people didn't think about that. I'm thinking about this, people. I'm thinking about this, giving you all the goodness. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, next up is Dr. Fate can use energy, shield deflection, regeneration, and super senses. This is the end dial. You can't depend on this. If you get on it, the chances of you being successful to get off of it and living is pretty low. Pretty low. Let's say you roll a 6 and you heal max 4 off of click 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll put you back to click 2, running shot, psychic blast, energy shield deflection, and your Tempt Fate. Now, you have no damage reduction. Someone rocks you for 4, you're right back where you were. And in this set, getting 4 damage is not that hard. Let me repeat that. Getting 4 damage is not that hard. which makes Dr. Fate a bit of a problem for running. But at the same time, if you're able to build around him in higher point games, 500 points and above, his utility is definitely there. Definitely when he goes into click 2, running shot, psychic blast, it's a really good, second tier, third tier attacker. In a 300 point game, he's not as good as con exclusive Dr. Fate. He's just not. Okay, next up, Green Lantern. Green Lantern will see meta play. Green Lantern will see no tactics play. Green Lantern will see tactics play. Green Lantern is way too good for what he does. He just is. Okay, let's go into why Green Lantern is way too good for what he does. His trait, purely his trait. The green will not let me die. The first time each game that Green Lantern would be KO'd, instead turn him to click number 5. Then, for the rest of the game, when Green Lantern clears action tokens, you may heal him of 1 click. Well, I attack. You can't do anything because you're pushed? Well, okay, cool. You hit me. All right, cool. Next turn, I clear. Boop, I heal 1. Okay. Yep, that sort of sucks. Okay, cool. Oh, I have leadership guys taking tokens off of me? Yep. Just healing. Oh, did you kill me again? Oh, I got a White Lantern power battery. So I'm right there on the end. Yep. Oh, you couldn't double tap me. Oh, well, whatever. Roll regen. Right back to where I was. Oh, I got Nurse Construct. Roll regen again. Click 1. So, this guy, I'm glad he's a rare. I'm glad he's not a super rare or a chase. If he was a super rare or chase, I see a lot of people being mad. This is your powerhouse. This is your meta powerhouse. Wonders of the World keyword, reporter keyword. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't figure out how to play this, I don't know how many more ideas I can give you. Downsides: no improved targeting, ignores hindering. No improved targeting, ignores elevation. So when he's fighting Nick Fury, if he doesn't get map roll, he's going to have some problems. Okay? But you have Wonders of the World. You have Reporter. You have enough fodder to pump up your theme team to get in, another minor attacker. You just bump up whatchamacallit, Lana Lang or Jimmy Olsen to 60 points, and then just play a bunch of Newsboy Legion guys and cheapo 25 point 25 point Jimmy Olsens. So now you have another attacker that your opponent's going to be really pissed off that they have to deal with. A bunch of you shutting down your opponent's shape change and super senses. I think that's correct with Lana. And then I forgot what Jimmy does right now, but just all of that together with some new crappy little 15-point newsboys running around like, oh, -1 your defense, sir. -1 your defense, sir. -1 your defense, sir. Yeah. Like, oh, you had an 18 defense, now you have a 15 defense, and I have an 11 attack, and I perplex it up to a 12 attack, and now I perplex up my damage to a 6. One shot, dead. Good game. Like, just do it again. Do it again. All right, let's keep going. Silver Swan real briefly. I think she's a great 85-point secondary attacker that can fill in on your mystical teams. Running shot, 10 attack, psychic blast, 17 defense. She has traded super strength, and then she also has a pulse wave that locks in at 2 damage, and then she has the ability to destroy all walls and objects within 3 squares when she uses her pulse wave. So I like that because it allows you to running shot, single target pulse wave, some other character, blow some walls or barrier, and then allow for your team to do follow-up shots. So that's just great. Okay. Next up is Superman Blue. Superman Blue is your new hero. He is the hero of Canton, to refer to Firefly. and he is there to save the day. So saving the day. This is the Superman that we need and deserve. Okay, so you're like, at 125 Dark Logos, I'm not really feeling that Superman. So what? Listen, hey, listen. Okay, 125 Superman is not your friend. He's not. You know who is your friend? 50-point Superman. 50-point Superman is your friend. You want to know why 50-point Superman is your friend? For 50 points, you and all your rest of your buddies are immune to pulse wave. Can't be pulse waved. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Next off, he's an 18 defense with energy shield. That makes him a 20. A 21 in hindering. Okay? When you push him onto that little next click, forget the energy explosion because that's just cake. Okay, that's really cake. You're going to have other stuff that's just going to bump his damage up. It's crap. I know, fully know. But listen, listen. Okay, click two, hypersonic speed, 17D, perplex, 10 attack, 3 damage. So let me break some things down to you. Let me just break it down. Okay. What you do is you have options. You have so many options, okay? You can play reporter theme team. Get all those little newsboy guys together, some other like decent moderate attacker at 100 points. Not even that. Let's just say, okay, let's just go ahead and say 100-point decent reporter attacker, whoever that may be. Okay. 2 Superman blues. So you have 3 characters right there. Okay. 2 Jimmy Olsens. Alana Lang. And let's see, 2 Jimmy Olsens. That's 50. Lana 20. So that's 70. So that you could put it, and then 1 Newsboy Legion and a resource, or not even do the Newsboy Legion and just put in the resource. So that's +6. That's +6 to map roll. If you can't figure out what to do with the +6 to map roll, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I really can't help you because you have a good team. It would be one thing if it was just like, yep, these guys suck. The fact that Lana gives you empower, and you can go up and just base guys once you're on click 2 of Superman Blue, and just make sure Lana's in the right position. Perplex up your attack. Now you're doing 11 attack, 4 damage. Now some of you might say, but Dark Logos, they're so fragile. If you play Ultron drones, you can't talk. You want to know why you can't talk? Because you can one-shot Ultron drones. But you'll be like, but Dark Logos, I can bring them back with Ultron 1. I bring them back with Ultron 1. Yes, I fully understand that. I get that. But really, when you're talking about shelling out points and how easy it is for you to make a theme team, it's super easy. Justice League, Sister Superiors, like, bring your cute blue energy butt over here. Give me a hug, okay? It's just so good. It's so good. It's just so good. Okay, so right there we got our meta rare. Like, get 3 of these guys. Get 3 of these guys. And just 50 points. Like, 50 points. 50 points. 50 points. Okay, I already complained about Clark Kent and his BS that he can do and summon in a once per turn, once per power action Superman. You permanently have that type of Superman on the field. Oh, anyway. Just too good. Too good. All right, let's keep going. Next up is Lori Lamaris. Now, Lori Lemaris is good. I think I accidentally skipped the mermaid. The mermaids are good. But go buy a mermaid. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, Lori Lemaris, she has legs on land, fins on water. When that's her first trait. When Lori Lemaris occupies water terrain, she has dolphin symbol and modifies her defense value by +2. And she begins an action in water terrain, modify her speed value by +2. Now, let's look at why this is a big deal. First off, power plant, matter rearranger ring. I'm in water. Now I have a 19D with willpower. That's pretty good. A 19D with willpower. That's really good. Also, an 8 movement if I start in water terrain, which is all right. The sea sings the songs of them. When Lori Lemaris or a friendly character named Mermaid is KO'd by an opposing characters within 5 squares of the KO character that are occupying water terrain are each dealt 2 penetrating damage. Now, this, you're building for your Atlantis theme teams for this trait. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do that unless, again, power plant, you put your opponent inside of water. So, I'm just saying. All right, next. Everyone loves a mermaid, Superman most of all. Lori Lemaris can use mind control, isn't dealt unavoidable damage from using it. She can use it as a free action, but only target characters named Superman or Superboy. Now, triple target, mind control, no feedback, 6 range. Put a lantern with a sniper rifle. Now you have a 10 range triple target mind control. Is this Brother Voodoo's second coming in a, mermaid form? No, it's not. Brother Voodoo is still the man with the iron staff lifting it high. Okay. But what she does is provide us a lot of control for little investment. Lots of control, little investment. Okay, so if my opponent has a 3-figure team, a 4-figure team, 5-figure team, with an 11 attack, blue battery, she's golden. Because she's just like, well, I perplex up my attack to a 12 or increase my range to a 7. Or if I have a sniper rifle, increase my range to an 11. Mind control, bam. Got it. Okay. Her damage value being 1 really encourages you to focus on the mind control. You're not taking feedback damage. Then she goes into this charge exploit. Forget that. You want to get her back onto that mind control goodness. That's it. That's it. Don't get distracted by, but I need to land that last bit of penetrating. No. Mind control that chick. Mind control that chick. Just keep her going. Keep her on the block, working and hustling, because she will be a benefit to your team. Okay, she's going to come out a millionaire once this is done, hustling for your company called the team. Okay, that's how good she is. All right, so definitely do not sleep on this. This is rock quality. This is a rock quality piece. Will some people be like, nah, I don't really want to run that. I don't like the fact that it has mind control and doesn't take freaking feedback. And as popular as Superman's going to be able to mind control any of these Superman guys for free, and you're not going to take feedback. Yeah, it's good. All right, next up is Hell. Or Hell. Hell actually is Hell. Ha'el is good at 100 points. He comes in at 150 and 100. You're only playing him at 100 points. If you play him at 150, you better be running a Green Lantern battery, and even then, I'm like, you overpaid. And for those that pay attention, I am not too big of a supporter of characters that are short clicks for 100 points, but I am for Ha'el. And let me explain why. First off, he has improved targeting, ignores Henry terrain. You're going to be saying, I can get a coriander. I understand. The weight, that's not Superman. You already know my hate for that. Okay, next is Brilliant and Twisted. Hell can use Perplex, When he uses it on an opposing character after actions resolve, he can use Outwit to target that character, or use Perplex a second time to target himself. So here's what I did when I used them in the pre-release. I perplexed down my opponent's defense, perplexed up my attack. It's a 12 to formerly a 17, now a 16. I need a 4 because I had no prob. I want to make sure I hit. Okay, plus picking up a heavy, ultra heavy, I can do 6. Okay, 12 attack, 6 damage, hypersonic speed, smack them. Boom, golden. Okay. Another thing that you could just do is just be like, boom, perplex down your defense, outwit your impervious, hypersonic speed, pick up this heavy, smack you, bam. You know, you're dead. You know, that's another simple solution to him. So I look at him as great support because I also used him to perplex up my ally, my friendly characters. I used him to perplex down opposing characters and outwit their defense so other characters can take shots. Hell is very, very, very flexible. He's very, very shallow, but you get a lot of control. If your opponent isn't paying attention and knocks you on a regen, of course you're going to regen back up. But other than that, that's not happening. Okay, so let's move on. All right. Just real quick, I like Lady Blaze and Lord Satanus, but I think that they both have disadvantages. Mainly the fact that sibling rivalry trait, you're paying for that. But if you start looking at the Devil's Bargain for Lady Blaze and Rain in Hell for Lord Satanus, that's where it's at. All right. Next up is the Clark Kent's Devil Lover. And that's sad, considering I skip over the 2 demon people. And the one that I'm more pissed off and call a demon is Lois Lane. All right, I played Lois Lane in the pre-release. You probably was like, Dark Logos, how lucky you get. You got a Prime, you got Hell, and you got Lois Lane. Yeah, I got a booster literally full of reporters. It was like Lois Lane, Newsboy guy, and Lois Lane, Newsboy Legion, Jimmy Olsen, and some crappy attacker. Okay, so let's look at this. Lois Lane, why is she OP? Let's look at her trait. I learn secrets. That's the job. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose an opposing character within 4 squares in line of fire until your next turn. That character can't use team abilities. Oh, you had mystics and scrolls? Sorry, buddy. You have none of that. You had power cosmic and quintessence? Sorry, buddy. You can't use that. Just can't. All right. Next is, and she does this for free. Like, she just does this for free. It's not even a free action. She's just like, no, you can't do that. And she's Superman TA, so you can't hide and stealth. You have to have some little other ability, like you just can't draw a line of fire to me for her not to work. Okay. Next up is hunting down a lead. Now you're mainly going to abuse this, but her last special power is where it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, Lois Lane, hunting down a lead. Opposing characters can't draw a line of fires to Lois Lane unless they're within 2 squares or she's adjacent to a friendly character. Now, what does this mean? This means that this chick walks by herself. You do not carry her. She has willpower. She's a strong, independent woman. She can walk. She can walk the entire time. Now, do keep in mind your opponent can TK an object into her, as I learned, unfortunately. But she's a strong, independent woman that don't need no man, as the meme goes. Okay, so just let her walk. Let that chick walk, because it's better for her to be away from everybody else to the side, outwitting or perplexing through stealth, than it is for you to be like, well, here, let me hold your hand and take you over here. No, don't do that. Just let her walk. Just let her walk. I learned that lesson the hard way. Then you have Willpower, she has willpower for 3 clicks. Then if your opponent doesn't hit her hard enough, as bad as that sounds, she can get stealth and perplex and willpower. Then she has her last click, which is her special power. He's here when I need him. Gosh, this is so bad, because you have a character literally who is defined from this click of not working best away from everyone, but when things get really bad, she calls Superman. She calls Superman. And I know people like that. But anyway, I digress. Adjacent friendly characters named Superman can use defend. So Superman just gets defend because. If this power is revealed when taking damage from an opposing character's attack, so it doesn't work on poison or anything like that, or it's super poison. Stop turning the dial. If you do, you may place a friendly character named Superman adjacent to Lois Lane. Oh, you knocked me on my stop click. Okay. Summon Superman. So there's tons of bait that you can do. And she's probably, and this sounds really bad because I've brought it up so much this time, she's a high contender for Star Sapphires. Like Star Sapphire in like the net construct or even the axe construct, just to really get at people. Well, no, if not the axe construct. You need something to keep her at range. You don't want to give her a sniper rifle. I know that much. Let's say you give her the boxing glove just in case someone does get close. Or no. Bulldozer. That's what you get. So now she has shape change. You hit her, she gets mystics. Then let's just say if you hit her to her stop click, she's like, nope, Superman's here. Yep. That's how it went. So yeah, this is, and with as many Supermans with the reporter keyword or Metropolis keyword, you can make a theme team. So that's not a problem. And then you can go, if you really feel like punching yourself in the face, use the Superman movie Supermans. Those things, yeah, they suck. And have a good old time. All right. There's Lex Luthor. There's Lex Luthor. He's good. He's not the greatest. It's more of you can use Superman enemy, blah, 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 this other stuff going down. I can take tokens off of you because I'm mega leader, blah, blah, blah stuff. That's really all he is. Is he the best person for your Justice League teams? No, because the one from Trendy War was better. But this isn't bad. Definitely if you're trying to take tokens off of Superman, this is pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the super rares. The super rares overall are really good this set, and I can understand people want to collect them all and get Pokemon Syndrome. So first up is Superman. He has Justice League keyword, Kryptonian, Metropolis, and Trinity keyword. He also is 175 points, which I think is a bit undercosted for what you're getting, but I'm not going to fully complain. He comes in a solid 9 clicks of life. Superman TA 6 range, not the best. That's where you're starting to see like, oh yeah, okay, cool. He then comes back and he has sidestep for his first 3 clicks, and a lot of people might be really discouraged about that. But I'm going to tell you this: just slap an entity on him, slap parallax on him, and all of a sudden he's the greatest. Because that click 2, he gets hypersonic speed, and then it's all awesome from there. Or you can put Black Hand on him, and you can get running shot from the start. So he has the odds are against me, which is great because for how much you're paying, you can get a lot out of him. Now note, is this as good as that 200-point Wonder Woman? No, it's not. But it's good. Strongest hero of all, Superman can use super strength. When Superman hits a character with a close combat attack and the attack roll is 10 or higher, you may knock back that character a number of squares equal to the attack roll, ignoring all terrain along the path, destroying all blocking terrain along that path, and deal the character damage equal to the number of walls and number of squares of blocking terrain destroyed, maximum 5. Okay? So, you knock them back equal to the attack roll. So if you roll a 10, you knock them back 10 squares, 11, 11 squares, 12, 12 squares, which is huge for positioning, which in most cases is going to KO that figure. Okay? In most cases, because after you hit them with a heavy or ultra heavy, that's 6 or 7 damage. So they're taking that. Then they're most likely off of their prime damage reduction clicks, unless they have invincible. Then you've knocked them back 10 squares. Let's say they go through 3 or 4 squares of blocking terrain, because of course you're going to play ranks. And yeah, they're most likely taking 3 damage. Yeah, they're most likely taking 3 more damage, which would KO most figures. That's one-shotting. That's one-shotting. So it's really nice. Okay. Next, strongest hero of all is his special power. I already read that. But the fact that you have super strength your whole dial is great. So definitely, I really, really like this Superman. His defense values are solid. His attack values dip to a 9 at the end. But again, you're going to put an entity on this guy. You're going to put parallax on him. No lie. Maybe Ophidian. Maybe. If you're trying to steal hypersonic speed or running shot from somebody. But overall, a really, really, really good piece. Now, side tech. If you could pick up Omega Drive, have Ophidian, have another character on the field with some sort of moving attack, outwit that, get that power, and then Superman goes off. There you go. That's an option. All right. Next up is Crypto. Give Crypto. I'm just going to make it real easy. Give Crypto a sniper rifle. Then put 2. Either a shield recruit or a Hydra recruit behind him. Preferably one of each. Okay. So now Crypto's range is an 11 from the free action from shield. Double enhancement to do 4. Plus, Hydra is lowering the defense of the other opposing character by 1. And Crypto's hitting for 4 damage with precision strike. Thank you. Have a good day. Everything else doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can Crypto sort of teleport around and help out Superman, Superboy, or Supergirl? Yes, he can. But I'd rather have him in the back with the sniper rifle shooting for 4 damage. I just would. And with the shield, he could do 5 if you take a power action. Yeah, he could do 5 with shield. So yeah, right there. Again, I give you this stuff for free, people. For free. All right, next up is Wrath. Before we even get started, I'm going to be honest. Got to slap an entity on him. You just have to. Okay. He needs some sort of damage reduction. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So there we go. So focus precision. Sorry, Wraith. I said Wrath. Wraith. Ignores enemy terrain, ignores character. So he's got the dark side beams going. Next, he has, wait, that's not Superman. If Wraith is on your sideline, blah, 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 he comes in. Don't care. Next, he has absorption trait. When Wraith can use toughness, so he does have some minor damage reduction. Each time an opposing character damages Wraith, place 2 absorbing tokens on this card. At the beginning of your turn, you may remove an absorption token and either heal Wraith 1 click or modify his attack value by +1 this turn. So you could perpetually sort of, shave off some of the damage. Now, what also he works really well with is Sloth. Just sit there, do nothing. You're taking damage, get these absorption tokens built up. There's no limit on your absorption tokens. And then he's just like, heal, blah, blah, blah. heal, blah, blah, blah. You're shooting me, I'm just going to heal. And then you just combine him with Star Sapphire, so your opponent's just taking damage while you just stand there. You just heal. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Heal, bloop, bloop, bloop. That's all. All right. Kryptonite Spikes. Adjacent opposing characters, 150 points or more, modify their combat values by -1. So there you go. This is nice because I really wish that it was just a flat effect, but it's not. But it's good enough to force you into melee. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anything that helps you get into melee. So that's a problem. And he gets Psychic Blast too. So like I said, that's a problem. Overall, pretty good. Next up is Vartox, or I like to call him Zangief. If you see the sculpt, he looks exactly like Zangief. I like him a little overcosted at 225, but he is 9 clicks deep, and at 150, you're bound to see him a little bit more, just because of he starts off with hypersonic speed instead of charge. But let's look at it. And again, Star Sapphire battery, so hard, and you'll see here in a moment. You got Wait, that's not Superman. Then you have the rest of the hyper powers with the PD team ability. Oh no, he doesn't have PD team ability. It's PD keyword. Sorry. Vartox can use. Give Vartox a free action and choose a standard speed, attack, or defense power that you do not possess during your. Speed, attack, or defense. So yeah, speed, attack, or defense. Power that you didn't choose during your last turn. Until your next turn, Vartox can use that chosen power instead of the power in that slot on his dial. So up front, you can pick hypersonic speed, get in a position, be next to somebody, and then the following turn pick flurry, and then flurry with your 5 damage or whatever. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You also can pick like plasticity, just like you're not going anywhere. Mind control, that's also an option. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. Other thing that becomes interesting is that if you see like, oh, Banshee's there, having these defensive powers aren't going to do me any good. I have energy shield deflection. Now I have a 20D. Banshee has to deal with my 20D. So there's tons of stuff like, poison, penetrating poison. Okay, I have invincible now. No penetrating poison's going through. There we go. So there's a lot of creativity that you can do with this. Even so much of like charge blades, which would be sort of dumb, but you could charge blades or pulse wave or just straight running shot if you need to. So next, he has transferred my strength around. Vartox can use perplex. When he does, you may increase a combat value, accept damage by +2, and then decrease Vartox defense value by -1 until your next turn. So if you perplex your defense, you're still getting a +1. But that's it. Your attack being a 12 for a turn with hypersonic speed and you picking up an ultra heavy, that's better because most likely your opponent's not going to be able to like counterattack that. Okay. Now, a little side note about the rest of the hyperpowers. You can use sidestep first and then do the free action to choose a standard attack, a speed, attack, or defense power. So just sort of keep that in mind. All right. Next up is Supergirl. Supergirl has the odds against me trait, which she should not have because she's way too good at 190 points to have that. Yeah, she shouldn't have that. She also has Legion of Superheroes keyword, which is nice. Kryptonian and Metropolis keyword. I would say the one thing Supergirl does that benefits most of your Legion of Superhero teams is giving the Kryptonian ATA. All right, and then again, you get Jimmy Olsen there, and Lana Lang, and Supergirl all of a sudden becomes a lot more powerful. And your theme team. like whiz kids, really, whiz kids, whiz kids, whiz kids. Okay, anyway. So you get Last Daughter of Krypton. When Supergirl's the only character on your force, modify her combat values by +1. So is she OMA material? No. She's too low in points to be OMA material. But dark logos. If I attach the entity and then I line up with the right power battery, and then she'll get +1 stats, and then all that, and then she'll be a 13 attack and 20 defense and 11 movement with 5 damage up front, dark logos. What about that? Doesn't that seem awesome, dark logos? As cool as it sounds, point wise, you can't. You're running on such a deficit. Such a deficit, definitely with the new equip rules. Let's just say like this, okay. You start off. Let's not do the Star Sapphire battery, even though that would be probably like the best one for you. Let's just say you're running Sinestro Core battery because whatever. Okay. All right. So you're running Sinestro Core battery. You put Parallax on there. Okay. So right there, before we, get any further, we're looking at 215 plus a battery. So 217 off the top of my head. I think that ring is 6 points. 217. 217. So, 223. You have 223 right there. Okay. Then let's look at the constructs that you would use. Just because you need sustain, or let's just say your main goal is to stay alive. So nurse construct, so that's 231 plus 1 ID card, since you only do have 1 figure now. So that's 236. Okay, that's 64 points that's left. That's too much. Now, if you were able to tell me, hey, Dark Logos, I put on Jimmy Olsen at 60 points. I'm a Legion of Superheroes theme team because of the new equip rules. I have +2 to map, and I put on the bulldozer on Jimmy. Okay, which right now doesn't make sense. Okay, so then you're looking at Supergirl sitting on a 19D. Most opposing characters are going to be -2 targeting her. Okay. That's really not beating what Superman does for a lot safer. Okay. Then you're taking it to the next step, and you're saying, okay, if I try to play more defensive and like I said, use the decoy, let's just say I am missing some attacks. Your opponent is missing some attacks on you. You have no way to heal back up. You have no prob, anything like that. You have nothing to guarantee that you're going to hit. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's look at her special powers. She has the standing fast, gives Supergirl a free action and remove 1 outnumber token from this card to modify her speed value by +3 this turn. So that's sort of nice to give her a nice movement bump. Then no place to hide. Supergirl can use sidestep, and this is at the end of her dial. And improved movement ignores and destroys blocking terrain as she moves through it. So that's pretty good too. All right. Let's move on. Again, this Supergirl is good. I just don't think that she is good to the point where I can bet my OMA money on her. All right. I think you're back playing her in 400 points, 500 points. I think she starts falling off around 600 points, maybe even 700. The only reason I say that is at 190, again, she's great. But that Last Daughter of Krypton trait, by the time that goes off in those higher point games, she's on her last few clicks, and that's not going to save her. Okay? All right, so since we are almost an hour now, we're going to go ahead and have intermission. And for all those who have done the set reviews, they understand the nice let's all go to the lobby song. So let me get this swig of water real fast. All right, so let's sing the song. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And grab. I said grab ourselves a snack. All right. So you're back. So let's bring it. Let's get back to it. All right. So yeah, we're back. We're back. Tag team back again. All right. So let's look at Supergirl Prime. Now, Supergirl Prime is cheaper than her super rare counterpart, but she has a couple of keywords that bring certain specialness out of her. First off, Red Lantern core keyword. Okay, so that right there is a key. Now, you're losing that Superman ally team ability. That's a downside. You're also losing 2 range, but you're also losing 30 points in the cost. Okay, your same amount of clicks as the super rare, but here's the other thing: you can invest 10 points in a sniper rifle, and now her range exceeds the super rare. Okay, so next up is she has no cool traits, which also makes her cost a little lower. Starts off with an 18 invincible, which is pretty good. It's not bad, it's not great, but it's pretty good. Then you have the damage power that she starts off with, just stay down. Now, this is the power that most people are going to be building her for. Now, I don't see her being used consistently in the meta because she doesn't start with hypersonic speed. Her charge range is great. She's not like Wonder Woman with flurry or anything cool like that. So you're not getting an insane amount of damage output out of her, but what you are getting is control. And that control actually means a whole lot. So let's look at it. Just stay down. When Supergirl hits an opposing character with a close combat attack, roll a d6 after actions resolve. On a result of 4 through 6, that character possesses Earthbound Neutralize until your next turn. This takes away opponent's use of Indomitable. This takes away their Sharpshooter. It puts you back to standard combat values. They do not fly. They are not a colossal. They are not tiny size. They are standard size. That is huge. So huge. Okay. So once you're taking away all these powerful things, and just let you know, if you hit somebody that just has willpower, they have Earthbound neutralized. They can't use willpower because Indomitable says you can use willpower. Even if they're standard, it just shuts it down. So anyway, this is a problem. This is a problem for a lot of teams facing Supergirl Prime because she has the ability to create a situation which that colossal, points, the cost that you pay for a colossal, no, you're standard size. That giant over there, standard size. Tiny, standard size. Flyer, not a flyer anymore. Dolphin, not a dolphin anymore. Team base. I don't even want to know what happens. I really don't want to know what happens. They're going to have to rule something. What happens with the team base. But you sort of see where we're going. All right. Let's keep on moving on. Again, I'm gonna say I forgot to do her attack power and her defense power. Attack power rage for a lost home. Supergirl can use poison, deals penetrating damage. She gets that on click 4 through the rest of the dial, which is great. And she starts getting flurry then, but again, you don't have charge, and your range is 5. So I mean, I can't fully complain. I understand if you're already in the mix, but I don't see this panning out as beautifully as I would want it to. Then the defensive power that she gets on her last 3 clicks. Supergirl can use combat reflexes and toughness, which you're trying to force that close combat interaction, but if they can break away, I'm sorry, it's not going to be a good day for you. So a good prime for like the next 2 months. Yeah, for the next 2 months. After that, I think she's going to be forgotten. Not worth dumping a ton of money into. Pick her up later on the secondary market. Next up is Atomic Skull. Atomic Skull is great. Unfortunately, he died ever so fast on the Flash show. They put him in a freaking reactor. Freaking a reactor. Well, actually, this might be a different guy. I think it's the Atom or something. It's the Atom they put in the reactor. But I think the name is the same. Joseph Martin. Hold on, let me scroll down real quick. No. I think this is Joseph Martin was the one that was the one on the show. Anyway, so why is he good? 2 targets, Superman enemy, 150 points. Secret Society of Supervillains, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Running shot, he has a special damage power. Atomic Skull can use energy explosion, poison, and deals penetrating damage. Now, so a lot of people would overlook that last part. Okay, so first off, your energy explosion deals penetrating damage. So same thing happens. You're looking at a cheaper version of the Thor from Age of Ultron with running shot, not as good, one less range, a little bit cheaper, and no free Jane Foster paw. That's a good trade-off. Okay, similar stats, just you don't have impervious, you have invulnerable. Okay, that's cool. I can live with that. You also, if you decide or put in a close combat situation, you have penetrating poison. Okay. Here's the other thing. It says in deals penetrating damage. They have to clarify this because would this mean if I'm doing a normal attack, do I deal penetrating damage? But it's not clear from the sentence structure. Okay, so I'm not going to make a ruling on this. Ask WizKids, but definitely you need to find out. Like, hey, it deals penetrating damage. Is that just for the poison and energy explosion? And hopefully it's just for the poison and energy explosion. If not, this guy will be a lot more annoying. He gets some perplex on clicks 2, 3, and 4. That's great. That's fine. And he goes into pulse wave. So his whole entire dial, he is dealing penetrating damage. If you want to say pulse waves, unavoidable, blah, 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 all the other stuff, that's cool too. But the only thing you have to watch about pulse wave right now is that darn Superman Blue. My boy, Blue. My boy. You know, he's causing problems. He's causing so many problems. So, yeah. Think about that. All right. Eclipso. Covering the equip rules real quick. Standard characters are characters that don't have... Pretty much you're looking at characters with the fist symbol and the fist symbol, the sharpshooter symbol, and the standard damage burst. Okay, those are classified as your standard characters. They can have Indomitable. I know, and they can't be a vehicle. And yeah, that's the best way to put it. And they can't be a vehicle. So, yeah, they can fly, dolphin, whatever, and be equipped. You only can have one equipped thing. Relics are equipped. Okay? If I have Eclipso attached, or Eclipso equipped to, let's say, Namor, because I'm looking dead at Namor right now. Guess what? My opponent picks up the, the straitjacket, hypersonic speeds with Wizard, the good Wizard, not the crappy wizard that we got recently, the good Wizard, comes in, double, taps, my Namor, first attack, boom, hits. Now the straitjacket's on Namor. Calypso instantly KO'd. Instantly KO'd. Okay, and removed from the game because you only can have one element equipped to you at a time. This will be a problem in the future because people will have to pick between equipping and equipping a entity possessor or equipping a resource. Okay, so that's going to be a problem down the road. So let's look at Eclipso in that light. He is 250 points, which is setting him up to be the new Parallax of the New Age. Once the old gods of the spectrum entities die off, Eclipso shall come in and be the new deity in which we all bow down and praise. The fact that he won't count against Theme Team is great, or count as a character is also great. Getting Stealth, Precision Strike, 18 defense with 4 damage is very moderate in this day and age. So that means that on average, you're bumping up a mediocre figure to be about par. That's not good. You're not seeing any 12s here, which is what made Parallax stand out. There are a lot of defenses that are an 18 and 17 around the same clicks of dial. So as a possessor, he's okay. So you're coming back to, he's okay from stats. So you're coming back to looking at Eclipso's movement and damage value, and that's probably the most that you're going to be milking out. His attack value, right now, I don't see most people benefiting from that. So you're looking at powers, okay? Okay, do I benefit from stealth? Well, with all the Superman TA floating around and Spotlight and everything else, I don't think stealth is the main money power anymore as it used to be, unless we get something like the classic Beta Ray build from the Fast Forces, which just allows you to say, blocks line of fire, screw you, okay? Shape change, really not that useful up on click 1. So you're mainly banking on Precision Strike and Impervious. So that's your bonuses. Moving on a little further down the line, Psychic Blast, Outwit, that's useful. And invulnerability, not the greatest. Running Shot, yay, that's great because a lot of characters mid-dial don't have movement attack. So you're looking at movement attack from clicks 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, him being only 9 clicks of life also means that putting him on a 10 or 11 click figure could be problematic. Just straight problematic, because once they're past those clicks, you go on to clicks 10, your Eclipso's KO'd. Okay. So let's look at the special power that he does have that allows you to rally really well. The Ebony Blade of Eclipso. Eclipso can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Steel Energy. If he uses Blades, Claws, Fangs, and the result of the D6 is 5 or 6, he heals 2 damage when using Steel Energy instead of 1. Combine that with a Black Lantern. When you KO somebody, I think it's like a higher points, you heal 1 more or something like that, you potentially could heal 4 damage, which would be major. Okay. So I definitely understand where Eclipso is going to be placed in the meta. I see his importance. I understand that he will be around. Do I think that he will be the best one so far? It's debatable. Just looking at raw stats and looking at powers, it's debatable. Because Jocasta is still going to be around, and Jocasta's only problem is the limitations based on keywords. And I was somewhat hoping there would be some more limitations on keywords, but there's not. Also, as a figure, Eclipso's okay. You're not going to get his trait from as a possessor with Eclipse. Eclipso can use mind control. When he does and hits one character, you may replace any of the hit character's combat values with Eclipso's printed combat values until actions resolve, which is really great because, hey, I just mind controlled your Pog. Your Pog now is 11 attack, 4 damage, 18 defense, and 10 movement. That Pog is now going to slap you. That's good, and that also stacks on any other modifiers that character has. So I gotta say, Eclipso will be a thing. Do I think that a lot of people are going to abuse him? Not really. it's going to be harder. You're going to be more dependent on the powers and not so much the powers and the stats. I just don't see it happening that much. He doesn't offer anything that's utility. And because he doesn't offer anything that's utility, I see a lot of teams just putting him on a character that they need to have penetrating damage and getting at that and just sticking with that or some sort of mild damage reduction. All right, let's move on to Faust, because Majestics designed this team designed this figure, and this figure is strong on so many levels. First off, he does not have Mystics, which I'm glad. I'm so glad he doesn't have Mystics, but he does have Checkmate, Mystical, Outsider, Sentinels of Magic, and Shadow Pack keyword. So that's great. Okay. Next, he has Soul Magic. When Faust KOs a character, you may choose a standard power from that character's card. He can use that power until he chooses again. This is great because he is a mini Mahazes. All right. So if you KO somebody with, let's say, Impervious. Now you have Impervious. Prob, definitely something that's useful. Running Shot, Hypersonic Speed, really, really useful stuff. I would say this, Faust is the last thing you want to see if you're running Pog Tech, because he has every incentive to target your Pogs, kill your Pogs, get super senses, enhancement, whatever little special powers that they have, and use them well, and use them way better than the Pogs can. So all you Dr. Demonicus lovers out there, I'd be really careful against Faust. Just be really careful against Faust. All right, next up is Shadow Walk. Faust can use Sidestep. When he does and occupies hindering terrain, before moving, you may place him in any square of hindering terrain within 4 squares. It's out of the shadows. So it's like, oh, I put the net underneath me, smoke cloud, boom. Then I bounce over here, I take a shot. Oh, you're next to me, I'm in hindering terrain, boom, now I'm over here. Now I get to move away. All right, great. So that in and of itself makes him very hard to pin down. I don't want to say put a sniper rifle on him, because I think the net will actually work a lot better for him just for his mobility. But the moment he gets access to Running Shot, his swing is very, very just ridiculous. So let's just say Running Shot 7 plus 4, that's 11. Plus 4 more, that's 15. That's a nice chunk of the map, definitely going into mid game. Then you go ahead and you look at his damage power, which is Pocket Dimension. When making an attack roll, Faust may roll 3 dice instead of 2 and then choose 1 to ignore. That's great, mainly because, as one colleague of mine put it, it's like giving Faust a 13 attack without him having to pay for a 13 attack. So the chances of him hitting most of the higher defenses that are present in the meta is there. Because if you roll a 6, a 4, and a 3, you're going to pick the 6 and the 4. Ignore the 3 and you have a 10. If you roll a 3, a 5, and a 2, you're going to pick the 3 and the 5. So there's a lot of great stuff here. Now, you can get really unlucky and roll all 1s, but I don't know what the odds are of that. Okay. Then in mid dial, he gets Steel Essence. And this is great because Steel Essence says give Faust a power action when he's adjacent to an opposing character. Deal an opposing character 1 penetrating damage and heal Faust of 1 click. Now, this is why I think him with the Red Lantern battery will be a thing. Because you poison the guy, then give Faust a power action, and then you deal an adjacent opposing character 1 penetrating damage. You don't have to roll for it, and then you heal. You don't have to roll for it, then you heal. If you have any sort of damage reduction right there, you're less scared of dealing with your opponent's retaliation. Okay. Oh, I put the net underneath me. Boom. Okay, cool. I can just be over here. Oh, I'm in hindering terrain. Okay. I'm, I healed after. Actually, it goes like this. It's like poison, power action, heal. Next turn, shadow walk away. If you want, actually, next turn, poison, then shadow walk away. And if you really want to lock somebody down, like a character with 2 tokens, you just get next to them, put the net underneath them. Now they have to roll for breakaway to get away from the net, and then boom, poison, power action. Next turn, throw the net down again, poison, power action, and your Faust may be healed back up. So this guy, this Faust is great amount of sustain. Also, he has 2 clicks of regen and prop at the end with the whole shadow walk thing. So he can shadow walk, get away, and then reach in. So overall, this is definitely a piece that will be in the meta. Expect the West Coast to blow up all over with this figure. So don't sleep on this. I like Hades, but we're not going to cover Hades. Steppenwolf. Let's move on to Steppenwolf. Kill your greatest heroes. When a friendly character KOs the highest point opposing character, put a despair token on this card. Opposing characters modify their attack and defense values by -1 for each despair token on this card. When a friendly character is KO'd, remove a despair token from this card. So as long as you can keep somebody alive, your team alive, you can just perpetually lower your opponent's you can just perpetually lower your opponent's attack and defense. And you just combine Steppenwolf with his good best bro buddy from college, Iron Nail. And you have one of the most annoying teams in heroclix. Really hard to pull off. You might be, using the Phoenix Force or finding some way to get carry with Steppenwolf or whatever, so you can carry Iron Nail or whatever. I don't know. But that's definitely, your most annoying, dynamic duo in heroclix is Steppenwolf and Iron Nail. Then you have Conquering Military Leader of Apocalypse. When a friendly character with the Apocalypse keyword is closer to an opponent's starting area than its own and damages one or more opposing characters with an attack, not poison or anything else, it has to be an attack, after actions resolve, remove an action token from that character. With a -1 from attack and defense, the odds are high you're going to hit. And then you set up a perpetual motion machine. That is huge. Okay, boom, I did something. I have a token. Boom, I hit. Yeah, take a token off. Okay, great. All right, so I still have 1 token. Okay, boom, do an attack. Did that. I hit. Great, take off a token. Boom. It's this perpetual, like, I can attack every turn. And I don't think, I know WizKids, plans stuff out. But it's literally after you've gotten your second token, you're just like, oh, everything's resolved. I take my token off because I hit and I dealt damage. So that's great. I do like the fact that it didn't just have to hit. It had to do damage. So that makes it balanced. So definitely Steppenwolf, he's not that deep. Unfortunately, he doesn't fly. I really wish he did fly, or else literally him and Iron Nail would be a great combo. But finding Steppenwolf with Lockjaw will probably be a thing. Will he show up in your rock meta? No. Will he show up in your local meta? Maybe. But I do think this is something that you can abuse. Oh gosh, Super Doom. Super Doom, Super Doom, Super Doom. This guy is great and horrible at the same time. He's horrible because you have to pay 300 points, and I see him popping up in a ton of 600 point and higher games. And when that's the horrible point, is 300 points. But the fact that he's 300 points, he's going to pop up in 600 point or higher games, is the fact that he's going to murder everything. Okay, the weight that's not Superman there's only one Superman that he can replace, and that's Earth 2 Chase Superman. Okay, there's no other Superman, to my knowledge, as of date, that he can replace. Okay, then, there's nobody else he can replace at 300. At 175, there is, but I'm sorry. At 175, I'd rather have the real super rare Superman. I just would rather have that, because there's better stuff that I can do with him and build around him than Super Doom. Okay, Next is the odds are against me. At the end of your turn, if Super Doom was given a non-free action this turn, and an opposing force has been, yeah, well, we already know what that does. He gets the outnumbered little tokens, and then you can make range, a close combat attack. Cool. All right. This with Super Doom is oh gosh, no, not doing 5 damage up front. Not Psychic Blast 5 damage. No, you couldn't allow that because he just like, yep, sit here, do nothing, take a action, boom, turn 2, sit here, do nothing, take action, done. Okay, turn 3 clear, turn 4 TK him out, Psychic Blast 5 damage, follow up, 2 tokens removed, boom, 4 damage. Your whatever he shot is dead. And that's not even saying, oh, I have enhancement. Okay, or perplex or whatever else. That's why I'm saying like 600 points, pure beast mode. Pure beast mode, that he's going to be a problem for your games. At 175, don't waste your time. Let's do with the created with no equal. When Super Doom is dealt penetrating damage, it can be reduced. So he doesn't fear the Psychic Blast. He can't be targeted by Outwit unless his targeting character possesses the Kryptonian keyword, Superman ally symbol. So you actually have to have it printed. You can't wildcard it, or a higher point value, which means that you are an old school Colossal if you are a higher point value than him. Okay, or Cosmic Spider-Man with Ophidian. Which, in that case, I'd rather have Cosmic Spider-Man. Relentless Aggression. Super Doom can use Battle Fury, Exploit Weakness, and the Colossal Stamina. Now, he gets this, and that I don't like. And I take that back. I said TK him out. I actually look at it now. He's giant. He can't be TK'd. So I apologize for that misplay there. So actually he can phase out, then remove 2 tokens and blast somebody for 5. Yeah, like, gosh, that's so bad. Anyway, so the fact that he gets Exploit Weakness and Colossal Stamina and Battle Fury, I don't like that. He literally has a full dial of Battle Fury, which makes this 7 range outside of the first starting clicks pretty much worthless. With that being said, he gets up in your face like nobody's business and can stay on top of your opponent. Now, building a odds against me team with Super Doom is possible. It may be a little harder the higher points you go, because then you're starting to realize, like, I need other stuff. So I think his sweet spot is between 500 and 600 points. You can utilize just about everything that he has without much concern. I can't cite a resource that stands out as the best with him. I think any resource that you use would work out, just because he's just that dominant. Next up is Mr. Missiplick. He's Quint. That has its advantages. So you don't have to worry about the pushing damage. And he's broken. Just broken. Like, no other commentary needed. Broken. I can move on to the next figure. Like, he's just broken. Let's explain why he's broken. First off is his trait, messing around with the odds. At the beginning of the game, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and place the roll result on this card. Give Mr. Missiplick a power action. If there is no d6 on the card, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and place that rolled result on this card. Whenever any dice that can be re-rolled are rolled, so just any dice that can be re-rolled. So it's like, no, this can't be re-rolled, you can't use it, including as part of a 2d6 roll. Now, note, this may allow Faust to get around Mitsiplick for a little bit. I don't know. Gotta toss your rules, Arbs. You may remove a d6 from this card and replace one of those die results with the rolled result from the d6 removed from this card. So in layman's terms, okay, I rolled a 6 and a 1 for my attack. Mr. Mistleplick has a 1 on his card. Nope, I crit missed. I'm rolling for regen. Mr. Mistleplick has a 1 on his card. Guess what? Nope, I rolled a 1. I don't heal. Oh, okay. I roll shape change. I roll a 6. Mistleplick says, no, you rolled a 2. This is what's going to make him strong. This is what's going to make him strong. Okay. Now, there's some other things that he does that is questionable. And I can see people getting around it. But that right there is why you pay 70 points for Mistleplick. I guarantee it that this is rock level meta. People will play this. Combine this with the blue battery. Just his trait. I haven't gotten anything else he does. Just his trait in a blue battery. Yeah, you're looking at some silly level stuff. Okay. Next is keeping up with the Kryptonians, which is a keeping up with the Kardashians joke. Makes me want to. It actually made me face palm. Mr. Mistleplick can use phasing teleport. When he has 2 action tokens, he can use it as a free action. And this is nice because he can just, every turn he can move. With Quint, every turn he can move. Like, if it looks like Mistleplick is in danger, he can get away. That's it. If you find a way of giving him prob or outwit or perplex, oh gosh. With this power, he's always in position to wherever he needs to be. Oh, your opponent's like just moved in to try to get next to Mistleplick? Sorry, I'm over here now. So Mistleplick, that keeping up with the Kryptonians, that is a lot more powerful than people might think. Then he, on click 2 and 4, because he alternates between keeping up with the Kryptonians on 1, 3, and 5. On 2 and 4, he has running shot, and then he gets zeroing the playing field. Mr. Mistleplick can use Pulse Wave, but deals no damage when doing so. Instead, gives each hit character up to 2 action tokens. So he can just be like, oh yeah, now you all have pushing damage. Okay, and you can't do anything. And you're stuck. Okay. Then he also has Little Imp from the 5th dimension. Give Mr. Mistleplick a free action and choose a character within 3 squares in line of fire. The chosen character gains tiny, standard, giant, or colossal symbol instead of its damage symbol until your next turn. Why is this so strong? Imagine a team base that's tiny. Imagine a colossal that's now standard. Oh, you have an entity? Now you're giant size. Guess what? That entity is KO'd. Free 25 points without rolling an attack. Yep. That's why. That's why. Okay. So, oh, Mistleplick, he's tiny. Now he's standard size. Oh, now he can carry so-and-so. There's so much to do there. It's just so much to do. I'm glad his damage values are low. I'm glad that his attack values are okay. I'm glad that his defense values are average. Okay. I'm glad he's also 5 clicks deep. I'm glad that he's 70 points and not like 100 points with more clicks so he can do his messing around with the odds. But combine the 1st, 3rd, and 5th click alone with keeping up with the Kryptonians in that trait. He is the best. He's one of the best supports in the game. I mean, I literally mean that. You don't like, normally if you notice, I'm like, oh, I put this resource on him and you do this thing and you get this cool combo. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are, if Mistleplick can literally technically prob you, he technically can prob you anywhere on the map. Oh, power action. I'm in the starting area. Doom. Yep. That roll just happened. Oh, take another power action in the starting area. Boom. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that just happened. Oh, you're going to chase me? Nope. Keeping up with the Kryptonians. I'm over here now. Clear. Okay, power action. This. Oh, you're going to try to chase me again? Nope, keeping up with the Kryptonians. I'm over here. Boop. Oh, you made that attack? Cool. It's this die roll instead. Okay. Boom. So, I don't see. I definitely with the changes to how defend is, considering that you can't put Adara on Despotellis or Atomica anymore. I see this being really powerful because the only good defend is Captain Marvel currently in the meta. This is a problem because we're seeing I'm cutting from set analysis, just general meta analysis. I'm sorry. When we're looking at an influx of 11 attacks, a few 12s, okay, we're looking at a character that can change die rolls. We already saw, functionally, I said, like, Faust has a 13 attack because he's able to roll 3d6s. And the main reason you look at that is you just sort of average it out. That you're going to get half of that d6 is 3. Okay? And if you roll, if you look at 3 stacked up, you're looking at 9. So with 10 attack is a 19. On average, die roll is 7. So you're looking at a 12, possibly a 13 attack if you're getting average die rolls for what's standard for the game. Okay, so when you combine Faust, Mxyzptlk, and a few other characters in the set together, and I know you're talking about a huge point team, you're talking about an insane amount of control, an insane amount of odds manipulation, and you're creating this almost absolute hit mentality. We also have characters that can functionally attack every turn. And when you're looking at an 11 and 12 attacks, with those attacks, and your average defense is a 18, possibly a 19 because of defend from Captain Marvel, you're looking at aggro being the name of the game. And you could say, but Dark Logos, what about Nighthawk Prime? Nighthawk Prime doesn't deal with any stat, like, he doesn't deal with any die roll modification. He deals with stat modification. And if you get base to Nighthawk Prime, you lose all the stat, you get your stat modification back. So, I see this being the beginning of a depower era in sense of, okay, I can't stack as much as I can on top, but Mxyzptlk and Faust, they're going to start creating this hyper aggro situation going on. But anyway, out of my paranoia, onward to the chases. And again, I know it's going long. Thank you for staying with me. Chases, Batman. The bombs planted everywhere is just what you're paying for. Everything else is sort of gravy. Also, red sunlights. But let's go over him real quick. He's a walking dead man. He ignores elevated for movement. Bombs planted everywhere. Each time an opposing character destroys an object or printed blocking terrain or KOs a friendly character of 25 points or more, after action resolve, roll a d6 on a roll of 5 through 6, deal the opposing character 1 penetrating damage. That's going to eat through a lot of characters real fast. Then Anarchy in black is his movement power. Batman has sidestep and stealth, which is whoop-de-dicky-doo. Okay. Then he gets, on his last half of his dial, he gets red sunlights. Batman can use outwit. When he does, you may counter any number of powers that character possesses, which means you can pretty much outwit their whole dial if they're outwittable. That's really nice, but you can't really build around that part. I do see him showing up here and there, but mainly I see people trying to plan out running him on a spy team to get on ranks or some sort of indoor map where your opponent has to bust through walls to get to you, and the potential of eating that 1 penetrating damage. Maybe even combined with Star Sapphire or some other effects. Maybe even, what was that one guy from Invincible Iron Man? Ironmonger 2.0. maybe even with Ironmonger 2.0. So that's just some thoughts. Next up is Bizarro. He has the weight. That's not Superman. At 150, I can understand if you brought him in. I'm not going to hate. He's actually probably worth it if you want to replace 150-point Superman. Then radioactive X-ray vision. Bizarro can use pulse wave with a range value of 10. If targeting more than one character, damage value becomes 2 and is locked. So that's nice. Hello, everybody. Me, very pleased to meet you. When this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. When another friendly character would be hit by an attack, you may choose to have that character evade the attack. If you do, deal Bizarro 1 unavoidable damage. So it's nice. He has a stop click, but he also has like a little bit of protection for another big point person on your team. In Bizarro games, he's going to be really strong. All right, so I like it. I can see it being used as a replacement Superman. Next up is Brainiac. Brainiac is, of course, a equip guy. So looking at him from that standpoint, he is okay. You're mainly paying for Brainiac mainly if you need full dial sidestep, early psychic blast, and some pulse wave mid dial, where you're going to start off with pulse wave. His 11 attack, 18 defense, 4 damage is par for certain attackers. He's not going to boost up that many characters. Where I look at the main advantage of Brainiac is that he gives access to characters that don't have regen, and pulse wave, and then also, again, perpetual working machine. World is running like clockwork. Once per turn, when an opposing character is given a power action, you may immediately remove an action token from Brainiac. That's a majority of the time. Now, here's why Brainiac will be strong meta, in spite of his stats sucking and his dial is very short. You get one of those characters that has the odds are against me, and you play very, very safe, and you assign like the nurse construct or some sort of thing on them, and you make sure that once you take 3 clicks or whatever, you roll regen. Okay, what you've functionally done is you've taken a power action. Your opponent has done power action on their turn. You're going to get odds against me token. Okay, let's just say you already have 2. You can regen that turn and then attack. Okay, regen that turn and then attack at full damage. Okay, that's a thing. Okay, and then once per turn, when an opposing character is given so this happens during your opponent's turn, you may immediately remove an action token from Brainiac, and that transfers onto the active character. So boom, I remove a token from Superman. I remove a token from Wonder Woman. Okay, you hit me. Beginning of my turn, I roll regen. Boom, did it. Okay, all right. You're taking Mystics from my Star Sapphire battery. Okay, cool. You hit me, cool. Whatever. Roll regen. All right, you did an action, blah, 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 token off. Oh, I have two tokens. I'm going to attack you. That is why Brainiac is scary. That is why he's going to be an $80 piece. If you pull one, don't trade it. Keep it. Because this is what's coming, is this perpetual motion machine. So I don't know why WizKids did this. You'll never play this as a 150-point figure. You will only play this as a equip, and this is by far the strongest equip that we've had. It does require you to be you have to play very, very smart. Very smart in how you do it. Because if you're trying to maximize those 4 clicks, don't bother. Just don't. Just try to stay on top click as much as you can. When you land on it, utilize that advantage for that turn, and then during the beginning of your turn, you can pick Pulse Wave or whatever else if you need to. and then go back to the world is running like clockwork another turn. Gotta say this is scary. This is scary. All right, green light. I just like him for 90 points. I just like him for 90 points. He can do a lot. Friendly characters 40 points or less can use toughness in the flight ability. So you combine him with your ant brigade. All your ants can fly. They have the flight ability now, and they can carry and sidestep and carry friendlies. I'll take that back. They may not get everything from that. I got to find out because I have to see how they're going to rule the flight ability because it's different than saying they gain flight. So, anyway, the box within a box within an infinite number of boxes is nice as well. Green light can use barrier. When he does, instead of placing markers normally, you may choose a single base opposing character within range and line of fire and place a blocking terrain marker in each unoccupied square adjacent to the character. That character gains Earthbound Neutralize until your next turn. At the beginning of your turn, before removing the markers, give the chosen character an action token if it's adjacent to at least 3 of these markers. So you just put all this stuff around. Your opponent has to have hypersonic speed to get out of that box. And so they're just like, boom, hypersonic speed, bam, I get out. And if they can't, they're stuck. So I like that, but unfortunately you don't get that power until click 3. Survive for years as a communist POW. When this click is revealed due to taking damage from an opposing character's attack, stop turning the dial. Green light can use super senses. When he does and succeeds, you may heal him of 1 damage. So yeah, if he uses super senses when he gets attacked, yep, he's going to live. If not, he's going to die. So there you go. Next up is Superman. And he has a weight. That's not Superman. I don't know why. Criminals become Superman robots. When Superman hits an opposing character with a close combat attack, put a lobotomy token on his card. Give Superman a power action and remove any number of his lobotomy tokens to have Superman use mind control as a free action, targeting those characters that had at least 1 token removed, regardless of range and line of fire. So you go around, you smack a bunch of guys, you did okay damage, or you just were able to get pulse wave through whatever means, and then you just pulse wave your opponent's entire team. Let's just say that happened. You TK Superman away. Get him in safety. Your opponent trying to reapproach. You then take a power action. Remove a token from all of them. And roll for mind control. And you just ruin your opponent's day. Because you can mind control them to just slap themselves silly. And that's going to be a thing. He has 5 clicks of hypersonic speed, 5 clicks of super strength up front, and 2 clicks of invincible, 3 clicks of impervious. He has for 4 clicks his special power on damage exile to a farming collective. Superman can use leadership when an opposing character hits Superman. Even if this power is lost, after actions resolve, you may place that character adjacent to a different opposing character. Oh, you were in stealth? Not anymore. I put you adjacent to this pog. Oh, you're over here getting defend? Well, guess what? Not anymore. You're over here for that follow-up shot. So this guy is great. 175, he's still great. 280, that's really your money. I would say that's definitely your money. Him being 11 clicks deep for 280 points. On a 300-point meta, I don't see much play. Maybe 175. I could see him getting some play, but at a 400, 500, 600-point game, 1,000-point game, he's great. Wonder Woman, Diana from Themyscira. Sorry, that's her. Diana of Themyscira is her name for that one. Anyway, she has 165 points and 125 points. She has Communism is Social Justice. When friendly character with a lower point value, then Wonder Woman is targeted with an attack, modify the attacker's attack and damage value by -1. So if you hit any character that's cheaper than Wonder Woman, your attack and damage is -1. And considering that you can easily pack Wonder Woman at 125, put it, whatchamacallit, Mr. Mxyzptlk and Captain Marvel possibly on your team, I think. I'm sort of like just guessing on that one. That creates a very, very interesting situation, because if you try to hit Captain Marvel, now Captain Marvel's a 19. Your opponent has to hit a 18 with -1 attack. So that's pretty good. You also could combine Wonder Woman, which I definitely see it coming, with Nighthawk. So Nighthawk Prime right there. So you have to go through Wonder Woman before you even try to go after Nighthawk. So Lasso of Domination, Wonder Woman can use plasticity and sidestep. At the beginning of your turn, Wonder Woman can use mind control as a free action targeting an adjacent opposing character. This is okay. She gets it near the end of her dial. It's all right. I'd rather be using Close Combat Expert. Then Catatonic State in Superman's Care, Wonder Woman can use regeneration. Once per game, when this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. Now, this does suck, because she has a once per game stop click. When Wonder Woman is KO'd, remove all action tokens from all friendly characters. And this is a huge rally ability that really makes her more valuable at 125 than 165. Even though at 165 she gets hypersonic speed and 11 attack and 4 damage. I'd rather have some other figures from this set. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the Colossals. And I know we're approaching 2 hours, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. All right, so first off, we have the Atom. And the main thing, I'm going to be honest with you, you're mainly going to see these guys played at their lowest point values. Just all of them at their lowest point values. So you have Smothering Hold. The Atom can use plasticity and sidestep at the beginning of your turn. Deal 1 penetrating damage to all adjacent opposing characters. When an adjacent character fails a breakaway roll, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. That is really great, and you could do a lot with that, and I would definitely say Red Lantern Battery is obvious. But you're looking at your 200 point value more so than maybe your 150 point value for trying to maximize that ability. You do get it up front at your 100 point value, but then at the same time you can get knocked off of that real easily. So I don't like it. Then you have your whole Colossal Retaliation. Give the Atom a free action if no other if no other Colossal Retaliation powers have been activated. The Atom, all this other stuff, blah 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 blah. The Atom, place the Atom such that he can make a close combat attack targeting the chosen character. Then do so with an area effect, including all other characters within 2 squares of the target. So it's an AOE mega punch. Opposing characters can't use combat reflexes, shape change, or super senses for this attack. Hit characters are dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. Now, this is a nice thing, because technically your opponent can't avoid it and they can't reduce it. So it's an absolute 2 damage as long as you're able to make that attack roll, which is really strong. The Colossal difference, it doesn't matter. Looking at its whole dial, you're bound to see some play at 200, a little play at 150, mainly the play at 15 points. He's the cheapest, literally, nuclear weapon you can launch. So people are going to use him. Next up is Superman Robot, Justin Zephyros' best friend. I gotta say, the fact that 700 points he gets multi-attack, I would say he's probably for your next 1,000 point game, your game goes like this: 3 Justin Zephyros, Superman Robot, and everything possible to buff the Superman Robot. And anything that takes away shape change to super senses. And maybe a couple of Colossals sitting in the back just for colossal retaliation. That's it. That is it. That's all you're doing. And your opponent is going to cry. Ever so cry. And also, if you can find a way to get him energy explosion, Gizmo. Yeah, Gizmo. There you go. Gizmo, give him energy explosion. Yeah. Just ruin all their funds. Okay. He's able to reduce, with his special power, he's able to reduce penetrating damage. Actually says Batman Robot can use Impervious, but if damage would be dealt 4 or more damage, it reduces the damage by 3 instead of 2. This power can't be countered. Okay, so he doesn't reduce penetrating damage, but if you can't do penetrating damage to him, he knocks down the damage a lot. Then you have the Colossal Indifference, and then his Colossal Retaliation is that he attacks all opposing characters within 2 squares of the target. Hit characters are each dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. After action resolve, destroy all blocking terrain within the area of effect of the attack and place debris markers in all clear terrain within the area of effect of the attack. The main thing that this is good for is making sure that your opponent can't re-barrier up like real close, so that it allows for certain pocket advantages to be there. Having Empower would help out for some of your characters, but not enough. Next up is Brimstone. Looking at his Colossal Retaliation, he can do it, but he can make a close combat attack targeting chosen characters along a direct line of fire. So his stretches out a little bit more. Then do so with an area effect that includes characters along the direct line of fire to the target. So he can sort of pick up a few extra characters along the way if he does it right. Roll a d6, and each hit character is dealt damage equal to the result instead of normal damage. Now, this is where Mxyzptlk becomes stupid, because Mxyzptlk says, oh, I rolled a 1. No, I have a 6 on my die. Guess what? You all take 6. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, and that was an AoE 6? Yeah, that was an AoE 6. Oh, sorry. Yep. Don't feel bad. I got another Brimstone over here, and Mxyzptlk's about to take a power action. Robot keyword. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, playing him as a standard character, he's not bad at 400 points. He's not bad. The main thing I like is the throwing fireballs. Brimstone can use Pulse Wave. When he does, you may choose an unoccupied square within 6 squares in line of fire, and he can use Pulse Wave as if he occupied that square. So he can sort of like reach around corners and just be like, boom, there. Also, if you give him a sniper rifle, he becomes tricky, sneaky. Because now his range is... Okay, hold on, never mind. Yeah, never mind. No. You give him a sniper rifle. You pick a square within 6, and then since his range is 5 instead of 3, you're able to pulse wave for 5 squares. So he becomes a little bit more like, aha, I caught you for 2 extra squares. Then he has Plasma Leak. Brimstone can use Poison and deals penetrating damage when using it. So... I mean, overall, I like him. I can see him with Star Sapphire, Battery. Maybe at 400, of course, I could see someone running him with, Sinestro Core Battery. But that's about it. Next up is Solaris. He has a trait, Gargantuan Assault. At 800 points and 500 points, he can use multi-attack. He also has improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain, which the other ones don't. 10 range, power cosmic. He has beefy stats. He has better stats than the Superman robot, which is pretty good with the 6 damage, 13 in attack, 20 defense, invincible, phasing, a lot of good stuff. His Colossal Retaliation gives Solaris a free action if no other Colossal Retaliation power has been done, blah, 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 place them there, all this other great stuff. Then he can make close combat attack targeting a chosen character, then do so with the area effect that includes all opposing characters within 4 squares of the target. Hit characters are each given an action token instead of normal damage. Any character you can't give an action token is dealt 1 penetrating damage instead. So he doesn't have to roll for damage. He's more of a lockdown guy, which is okay. I mean, it's okay. But if you're looking at, I need to keep guys under control versus doing massive damage to them, because of whatever benefit you get, then Solaris is a good option. Other than that, he's probably not going to get used as one of the retaliation guys. Then you have waves of deadly radiation as the attack power. Solaris can use Pulse Wave. You may use Pulse Wave normally or choose that instead of normal damage. Each hit character is dealt damage equal to twice the number of action tokens on it, and each hit character with 0 action tokens is given an action token. So again, Solaris is a lot about control, more so than doing damage output. But also with like multi-attack, he just goes in, it's like Pulse Wave, actually normal Pulse Wave or normal attack hits you all, then Pulse Wave, boom, boom, boom. Oh, I hit a whole bunch of people, this effect goes off. Next up is Titano. Titano is our new Monkey Lord. Straight up, new Monkey Lord. You will say, but why, Dark Logos, is he the new Monkey Lord? First off, 250 points, 23 clicks of life. I did not stutter when I said that. 250 points, 23 clicks of life. That is in the unkillable territory. Okay. Can people normally kill it? Yes, but it does reach that unkillable territory. And you're going to say, Dark Logos, is this where you repeat the whole thing of Star Sapphire Battery? Darn Skippy, with a nurse. That's it. Every turn, you just roll regen. Your opponent hits you, just roll regen. Just keep rolling regen. If they have Pulse Wave, smack the guy with Pulse Wave, and then just roll regen. That's all you do. You just set up for the first moment where you can get the guy with Pulse Wave, hit him, you're done. You're done. There's nothing else. Okay? You have the ability to summon in crazy level guys with Titano's points for an ID card. So that's there too. Too many problems with blocking terrain. Summon in level 7 card with Invincible Iron Man. Oh, I need to take away this power and shoot him really good. Nick Fury. There's tons of guys that you can just use to pop in that make him great. Yeah, so there's no excuse. Like he's 250 points. He's really hard to kill. His stats are okay. They're average. But the fact that they're okay and average gives him a distinct advantage. And that distinct advantage is you're never feeling like, oh, I'm getting over on my opponent. And even then, you look at them, they don't drop that bad. And there's some points where you get Running Shot Psychic Blast. Other points you get Charge. Some points you get Flurry. There's some Leap Climb stuff in there. There's some goodness. Also, you have Monkey See, Lois, Monkey Do. When friendly character named Lois Lane moves, and then again, you got to get this debated with WizKids because does real name count? And I'm going to argue real name counts right now because you have standard Lois Lanes, but then you also have Red Tornado Lois Lane, and that can be an issue down the line. Because I would love to have Red Tornado Lois Lane use Titano in like a 400 or 500 point game. But after action resolve, Titano can be given a move action as a free action to move up to the same number of squares. When a friendly character named Lois Lane makes an attack targeting an opposing character, after action resolve, Titano can make a close combat attack as a free action. Okay. It just says he can make a close combat attack as a free action, not even on the same character. So all Lois has to do is attempt to hit, miss, and then Titano can literally go ape on anybody else. His colossal retaliation is okay. He has plasticity, so he jumps in the air. Titano can go in, be placed, and then makes a close combat attack. Target chosen character make 2 separate close combat attacks. Okay, he has flurry sorta, but he only has a 10 attack. Targeting the chosen character hit with an area of effect that includes all other characters within 2 squares. Hit characters are each dealt 3 damage instead of normal damage. But he has 3 damage printed, so I don't know why that they did that. So that's not bad. All right, let's keep going. War Wheel. War Wheel, you're never seeing this outside Colossal Retaliation. It's not that good. The energy explosion is great until you get Battle Fury. And you're not paying 400 points for this piece of crap when you can get other pieces at 400 points or less that perform way better. Forget the fact that you have triple target energy explosion and it can do all that cool stuff. Forget that. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Look at the 100-point dial, if anything. The 150 is no, it's not good. Yeah, so 100-point dial, but mainly the 15-point dial. Your Colossal Retaliation. You can place the War Wheel in any 4 squares in the same row or column that contains both all of War Wheel and the chosen character. Make a close combat attack whose area effect includes all in those rows or columns. Now that's the big part, is that you're able to line up everybody in that row or column. Okay, where War Wheel began this action in the squares, because people couldn't spell, it currently occupies. So that's a pretty wide space. Hit characters are dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. So against formation teams, the War Wheel is something that can be scary, because it can hit everybody that it's lined up with. If your opponent's not paying attention about placement, just hitting that row and column, that's a lot of spreading out that you have to do to not get affected by the War Wheel. Whew. All right, that's it. Thank you all for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me, man, this show needs to end. It's been 3 hours of work. Not only that, you can hit me up, find out my random musings on Twitter. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it baby. And you can check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. You can donate to the show. Everything you donate goes towards the show. And last but not least, you can buy my shirt through my TeePublic link and the link below. All right, that's it. Thank you all for listening. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.